Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts. And so this is Crypto Corner Sat Stacker for Saturday, June 28th. And, I believe this video will be called an opportunity. And that is because of this new meme that I do have up here. Let's see, I might just expand this so we can see it a little bit bigger, a little bit better. And so what do you call this phenomenon? When Ethereum was in April 2020, $2,200, and today, this was posted on June 22nd, Ethereum price was $2,200 again. So you might say, oh, it's a stable coin or something like that. But really, I view that as an opportunity. And that is really just kind of the basis of my thesis for crypto for the year of 2025 was that when I put out this video on ETHster on April 20th, going over basically the foundation of this thesis that I thought Ethereum would be hitting the lows or had already put in the lows corresponding with right around $1,400, which was the high back here at the end of 2017. And I do think that price could be going up to $8,000. But, I am not going to get into the thesis really too much. It's really just, I think that ETH will be going up from where it's currently at, which is not on this picture here, not in the screenshot, which I did take, I believe, on ETHster when I put that video together. And since then, price did go up from 1,400 to 2,200, and now we're trading, I believe, around 2,400. So yeah, I think that was an opportunity. I think that dips will continue to be an opportunity, and I think number go up. So since I'm not going to dive into the thesis much here, if you do want to get a deeper dive, you could check out this video. There will be a link in the description. And then also I usually do go over the thesis, or I have in the past gone over the thesis outlined here, but I'm not going to dive into it. It just takes too much time, but I will include a link to the Crypto Corner Sat Stacker, where I did last go over the thesis, if you guys are wondering. And for this video, I might actually talk about possibly breaking some of the rules that I have there if we are to see another dip, because I do think that it will be a great opportunity. And so this is the list of the tickers that I do go over, typically 18, but I did add Fartcoin, as you can see. So I will go over that. Currently don't have a position, but it did hit the level that I was thinking about adding at. It's just everything got filled last week. All of my dip buy levels, every single one of them got filled. So I thought, well, maybe I should pump the brakes, even though if we look at Fartcoin's price currently, 80 cents would have been a great dip buying opportunity, and that I believe was the low to the penny. So very interesting there. But before I do get into all of these tickers, start going down the list, I did also want to point out, this post from David Sachs. You might know him from the All In podcast, or you might know him because he is the Trump administration's crypto and AI czar, AI crypto czar. I'm not sure which one's first, but he did have this post regarding I believe it was the Stable Act or the Genius Act. I forget, Stable Genius. I forget what exactly it's called. But this is making, that progress on that legislation, and that clarity is coming up. And so I just wanted to point out down here what I have highlighted, David Sachs' comment to his own post over here, which was from June 26th. Got his response or his comment there, June 26th, saying July will be a big month with a bill signing for Genius and clarity going to the Senate. And so he's saying it's going to be a big month. I don't know if that's going to be a sell the top kind of deal, or, sell the news and then, buy the dip or something. I don't know. Or if we're just going to be seeing a very big rally. So I think it could be a very exciting month coming up. And but just going to be diving into the tickers here, starting at the top, and these are sorted based on the amount of risk that I'm putting into them. It's blacked out in this column, the amount of money or the risk that I'm putting on each of these, and the number of coins or tokens that I have. You guys don't need to know that stuff. I do have my average listed here, so you guys can see that. And from this, we will be calculating my percent P&L, or that's profit and loss on these. But, not selling any of them. I might be trimming some, and so I'll go over some of those levels here and, kind of be populating that for next week, which will be July. What is next Saturday's date? That will be July 5th, I believe, because the 4th is Friday. Yep, so I'll have to update that for next week with some dip levels, some add levels, and some trim levels. But first, we are going to start with Bitcoin at the top of the list, which is, of course, ticker symbol BTC. And, before I get into the market cap and the current price, or yesterday's closing price, I should say, I did get my dip by fill, which, as you can see, was at $101,000. And that's kind of tough because the week before I had my dip by level. Let's see if I do go back in time. I did reorganize the tabs, but we can see that my dip by level was $99,000. I upped it to $101,000, but I would have gotten a fill at $99,000. However, if I had not bumped it up, I probably wouldn't have bumped it up from the previous week, which was at $98,000. So if I'm not adjusting every week, I might not get fills. But considering that, yesterday, Friday, I did not get paid. Next Friday, the majority of that paycheck is going to go towards bills. So I probably won't be able to be too aggressive with some of the dips here. So I'll probably be turning a lot of those white. I have canceled all of my daily dip buys other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so maybe I'll add some, maybe I won't, but I just need to be, like I said, a little bit conservative. But at the same time, these dips that I had outlined here with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, I'll go over that I think I really nailed the bottom on that one. It kind of reminds me of when Ethereum hit 1,400. And so even if it's trading, if Bitcoin's trading at 107,000, if ETH is at 2,400, that those a month from now, at the end of July, might be dip value levels. So that's why I might break a rule, take some money out of savings. That's for, debt that's going to be due in March, with the thought process of, well, if I am still down with Bitcoin and ETH, then I could just work another month or two, and then pay off that debt. So I'm thinking about that. I haven't done anything yet, haven't moved any money yet, but I'm thinking about it. But anyways, let's talk about Bitcoin, and first by populating the market cap data. So coming over here to coin market cap, we can see Bitcoin here, and the market cap is $2.1 trillion. If I can get that copied, we can paste it over here, and then let's check out the price. It does look like it went up from last week, which was, just over 2 trillion. Now it's over 2.1 trillion. And let's just check out now the price from yesterday, the closing price on Bitcoin from Friday, June 27th. That was at a price of, let's see, the closing price, 107.113.38. 113.38. Okay, and then that's gone up over the past week as well, and I am up 23% with this, so I'm feeling good about that. I feel nice about it. What are the dip buy levels, if there were to be one, and what are not the dip buy levels? And one thing about the dip buys, I've been doing just the $20 remainder from what I add on a weekly basis, which ends up being $280, $20 remainder to make that $300. I've been setting it to buy some dips, but I'm thinking maybe I want to do a $250 or maybe a $500 dip buy So let's consider that. Let's see where we might be going to the downside and potentially the upside with Bitcoin. And so just over here on my little weeklies tab, just going to change this date to July 5th. And then, you know, I need to consider all of these as, you know, what would be a level to add at. So let's check out the chart. And I'm going to kind of break this down with, you know, a psychological approach, you know, is kind of how I'm viewing it, is that, you know, we've been putting in with Bitcoin, we've been putting in these lower lows. This was a lower low, yep. And lower highs, doing this kind of, you know, consolidation. So maybe I actually want to draw a parallel channel. And so maybe I'll do that from up here. And I'll just, you know, just being kind of approximate, but no closes above that level. And then no closes below. And I'm just going to extend this out a little bit. Maybe I want to, let's see, do it like, let's move that up. Actually don't like it including this stuff, so I might, you know, just bring it over here, bring this one down like that, and then yeah, that's a pretty nice downtrending parallel channel, I would say. Just to clean the chart up, I'm going to delete these yellow lines if I can. I apparently cannot. Oh, because I need to unlock it to delete it, I guess. Unlock it to delete it. Okay, so got those levels cleared up. And yeah, I mean, I talked about this last Saturday, and actually I think, so when was Saturday? So Sunday, on the 22nd, is when it pierced this level, which is the Fibonacci, I believe, extension. So that is going from the low over here up to the top and then down to this low, I believe. Yeah, over here. And so the 100% extension, is that right? No, sorry. This is based on where those three blue dots are from the top here to the bottom here. And then up, excuse me. So that was a very nice predictor of sub 99,000. We hit a low on, like I said, Sunday, June 22nd. That low being at a price of $98,225.01. And yeah, I mean, my thought process with Bitcoin, this was a pretty massive dump. So let's see, the high for that day was 103, over $103,000, and then it dipped to below 100,000. I feel like there was a lot of panic on that day. A lot of people were expecting this low over here that was hit on June 5th, that being the low of just above 100,000. People expecting that to hold as support. We broke to a lower low. Everybody's panicking. And I think that now that shook a lot of people up. People are like, lost confidence. Maybe they sold below or at 100,000, had a stop loss there, something, I don't know. And then it bounces, but it doesn't get back up to these highs. And so people now are starting to say, well, I mean, that dipped below 100. What happens when it stays below 100? I might get out. And so I suspect that a lot of people, there's just going to be some more time in this consolidation range and this parallel channel, and people are going to, want to get out of their positions while it's up here before we rip some faces off, and that means to the upside, or people are going to be expecting it to come back down to sub 100,000 so they can add and then it go back up. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it will go back up if, based on that kind of thesis of it returning to sub 100,000. So I think that we will probably maybe, hold around this downtrend. Let's see that green line that's at just above 100,000, $100,377.01. Maybe that could be the new low. I'm just going to do another Fibonacci extension, just like I did over here. So from the top to the bottom and then to the highs over here. I'm going to go from the top here to the bottom and then the highs over here, and we can get an idea of where that could be taking us to the downside. So just going to go from up here down to the lows here and then just extend this out a little bit. And so, yeah, I mean, that's still around 99,000. That's just for the 786, though. I should correct myself there because the 100% extension is going to be just below 96,000. Let's see this Fibonacci retracement that I have drawn here. That goes all the way up to the top here from this low. That was hit on April 7th. And so, I mean, we did pull down to approximately test the, let's see, that's the 382. I'm just going to adjust the label of that so it's in the center. And so we can see that is at, 97,752, something like that. And we didn't quite get there, but we have been going lower. So, I mean, a dip level, to me, 100,000 or maybe 101,000 again, because with it trading around 107,000 right now, 101,000 is a discount. Got this purple line here going across the consolidation, not even the consolidation lows. That's just thinking about like the low on May 19th was around 102. That was 102, 105. And to get some lows. So yeah, I am thinking that Bitcoin could do something like this. Either it pulls down. I need to actually, does it, styles seconds. Let's see how this goes. Okay, yeah, because it was like, let's see. There we go. Yeah, it was, if I draw a line, I would just want to show this. Yeah, why does it do that? It sticks to the days. So, oh, maybe that's it. So, yeah, I don't know. This is style background line. Okay, yeah, so whatever. It might be kind of wavy and stuff, but something like that, maybe to test the midline there, consolidate, and then go down. Maybe something like that. And then that could go up, higher. So that's kind of what I feel like could happen. And so I don't know that it'd come down to 100 again. Because I just think, it's like people get in this habit of, okay, it's putting in lower lows, and every time it puts in a lower low, it bounces. So I feel like anybody waiting for like sub 98 could be getting left behind. But thinking about this, though, I don't necessarily need to be adding a lot more. So maybe just 100,000, maybe 99. I like that. So I will do 99,999 will be the dip by level. I don't have that alerted, and I don't have an order placed. So I'm going to have to highlight those so I know to do that. Yeah, and then a trim. I don't plan on trimming. I don't plan on selling my Bitcoin. But we can maybe... Ah, crap. What am I doing? We can maybe look at this to see... Actually, no. I mean, I think that... I could do Fibonacci extension. I've probably already done it. Yep. But I would probably want to adjust this. Okay, yeah, it does. It is adjusted to that low. 135, 136, somewhere around there is the potential upside for Bitcoin. So trim, I don't plan on trimming, but yeah, no, just trim. I don't plan on trimming because I would want to target. I don't plan on trimming, so why don't I just write 135? Because I'm not going to trim. And then I will just do that so it doesn't take up so much room. And yeah, I will make that red because I do not plan on trimming. All right, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of my summary with Bitcoin. I think it could be, really just, is it going to go back to 98? I don't really think so. I don't think that 96 will happen, but if it does, then it's like, oh man. But yeah, so coming back over to here, I think my dip by level, I'm thinking I want to make it, maybe I want to do 250 times 2. And so it'd be something like over here for what I did with ETH. And yep, and so I've got the $40 set, and I would just need to make that yellow. So I'm thinking, maybe a dip buy at 99,999, and then what am I looking? I want to look at the chart. 96. Let's say 97. So yeah, 96 is right here. 97. Yeah, so I will, sorry, I'm not used to flipping through all this stuff. So I will also do, so I'll do it like this. 99 plus 97K. I'll just do it like that so it doesn't take up too much room. And I will line that up over there. So I think that those are two levels. I haven't placed them. I may not. But yeah, I think that I want to take advantage of any dips with Bitcoin. But, we're not only here for Bitcoin, we're also here for the other ones. So let's move on to the next one, which is going to be Ethereum, ticker symbol ETH. And so for me, I did get both dip buys filled, one at 23.50 and one at 21.50. So got an average fill of, what would that be, around 22.50. And that was a total of $500. So, yeah, that was a lot there, and I do feel pretty proud about buying that dip because it was very close to the bottom, that second dip at least. But I did not expect it to fill. I did not expect it to fill like shortly after making this video, but kind of crazy. But anyways, yeah, let's look at Ethereum market cap, and let's go over here. Over here to Ethereum's market cap. just shy of 300 billion. Copy that number, paste it over here. And, you know, it did go up over the past week. And now let's check out the price. The closing price from yesterday was 2424.20. 2424.20. It's kind of maybe a good omen there or something. It does look like I am up about 11% on my position. I've been doing the daily $36 dip buys. And it looks like my average, you know, I bought not only above, but also below my average. So I have been increasing my average slowly every week, every day, basically. But on that dip buy, I was able to get below my average. Feeling good about that. And if we do flip back over to the chart, we can see what that low was for Ethereum on Sunday, June 22nd. The low was $2,113. And so, you know, I bought the dip $37 above that. So feeling good about it. Very nice fill. And looking at the chart here, does look like we've got a bounce from there. Maybe this is forming a bull flag. Maybe we do start to see this going higher, although it is holding, you know, consolidating below this parallel channel over here. So I can just extend that over a little bit. And so, yeah, we're a little bit below resistance there. So that's maybe a little bit concerning. Also, if I extend this trend line over, we're below that as well. So it does seem like we're underneath a lot of pretty key resistance that, you know, held over here as support and then held over here, even with some fake out breaks below, but held as support to the upside. But you could also probably argue, you know, moving this down a little bit and then we're consolidating above there. So maybe that's something, but I'm not going to push that bias or anything. And but yeah, what are some possible dip buy levels for ETH? Just looking over here at the weeklies tab, I'm not going to do a double dip buy, or at least I don't think I should. But you know, let's just see here, this Fibonacci retracement is up to the top there. I'm just going to extend this over a little bit. Really, like now I feel like the dip buy level would be around 2,300. So that being the 382. Could dip a little bit lower, but maybe it doesn't. This has been putting in, you know, it did put in a higher low, and then over here, lower low, so not as good there. Yeah, maybe we have something like this. It's potentially, you know, some support there. Something like that. This looks like maybe it's a little bit of a rising wedge there. So maybe it could break to the downside. I don't know. But I would think that dip levels would be around 2,300. And yeah, and then if it were to go lower, then that would be around 2,000. But maybe that wouldn't get filled, so maybe around 2,100 or 2,050 maybe. So I feel like levels to the downside for ETH, what was I saying? 2,300. So just gonna delete the 0 or the 5, convert that into a 0, and then if it does go down lower, which I mean, this makes me think these are all fake outs. But then, and I can always adjust this, assess this every week. I might just do something like that if it does go lower, but not all the way down to 2,000. And so those are two, you know, levels that I think would be, I'd be happy to add at, especially with ETH currently trading around 24.33. We do come back to the spreadsheet over here. It looks like I'm, you know, suggesting 2 buys there. And so my Buys would be like this. I'm just going to make that yellow because I don't have them placed. And actually, maybe I want to make them. Maybe I want to make them orange because I'm not exactly sure. Got to move money around to place these. I don't know that I want to do that. I should be a little more conservative, but nice to just have the orders placed so one can forget. But yeah, then the level to the upside. Let's see. I've got these two. I had suggested, from let's see, last week, or 3,800, and so maybe I want to adjust that over here because this fib extension only comes down to there. I need to lower it, so that would be coming to that low that was recently hit, and so that would be around 3,600. But maybe we don't get all the way up to 3,600. But maybe we pierce it, get rejected, pull back. I don't necessarily want to be selling my ETH, at least not at 3,600. So maybe 3,600 is a good level to adjust. 3,600. 3,600. There we go. And yeah, I will make that red because I don't necessarily want to trim there. And I do need to make both of these yellow because I do need to make sure that those are placed or whatever, that I've got the alerts and the orders placed accordingly. And now let's just come back to this. I'm going to move on to the next one, which is going to be Dogecoin, ticker symbol DOGE. This one I did get a dip buy fill at 16 cents. I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought it was 15 cents, but yeah, I guess 16, got a dip buy fill. And I have been doing with Doge $1 daily DCA. I'm thinking about putting that on pause, but I will probably do a couple, daily dollar DCAs over the course of the next week, but I'll just do it based on, percentage, what I'm down, what I'd like to move up on the list, whatnot. And Doge is, at the top of the list. So I should probably just chill with that. Although, it is, I believe, below my average, but I know that things were moving a little bit earlier today, so maybe it's not anymore. But yeah, let's populate the market cap data for Doge, which is number 9 on the list here, just above Ed's head there. It's about $24.5 billion. Copy that number, paste it over here. Up over the course of the past week. And now let's look at the Doge chart. And I usually look at this on Binance, because there's more history in the US dollar. And so now, yeah, we have broken below the 786, which was at 1581. We hit a low of 1429, so could have gotten a fill at 15. Maybe actually for Doge, what I want to do is rather than a daily DCA, I'll think about it. Maybe I just want to do a $7 dip buy. But maybe that doesn't happen. It does look like it's bounced up and consolidating. So maybe it's forming a bull flag. But yeah, the close from yesterday, so from Friday, June 27th, closed at 1616. So type that in there. And, it looks like I am down 7%. And it's currently trading at 1641, so it's about 1 cent lower than my average. But I don't know, because for Doge, this is my thought process with Doge. I like it. It's pretty high up on the risk, but I like it. And if I like it, I've bought when I've been in the green before. Then I should be buying when I'm in the red. So I think what I might want to do is just do $1 daily DCAs. So I'm just going to change this to 1, see what that looks like. There we go. And I actually need to place that. And what I might do, since I'm recording this a little bit late and I'd like these orders to just be placed, is I might just, you know, place them as I go here. And so, you know, this is in Robinhood, just opening it up on my phone. And actually, no, I'm not going to do that because I don't necessarily want to be doing that while making a video. And I'm sure, you know, you guys don't really care that much. But yeah, $1. Kind of the reason why I wanted to do that or was thinking about doing that during the video is because if I place the daily buy order very close to when it gets filled or when they normally get placed, it won't get placed until tomorrow. But I could just manually do $1 dip buy. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking with Doge. You know, while I'm in the red, I should be adding a little bit. It's just $1. It's not a lot. Yeah, weeklies. So, you know, an add level for Doge. The low over here was like 14.29. Does seem kind of like, I mean, it's right over here. Yeah, I mean, got these, let's see, I could just draw a trend line from over here. You know, that. So that is, you know, higher lows. And so maybe this could be pulling back to around 15.23. So yeah, I mean, 16, I don't know, dip by level. Yeah, I mean, because if a 15-cent alert goes off, then maybe it's like, okay, well, maybe I will place, you know, a $7 order. Or, you know, more than $1 order. Maybe just do a limit, a dip buy for $1 at 15 cents. So yeah, I mean, the higher lows there. And with that, we do have, so we see higher lows. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of in the way, but we have higher lows in the price of Doge. But then what do we have in the RSI? We actually have a lower low. And so that is going to be, I believe, hidden bullish divergence. So that would be going up here, down here. So hidden bullish divergence. So yeah, but if this comes down to 15, you know, I just like to get an alert basically. So I'm gonna do this. What's a trim level? You know, I got the dip buy level around 15. So we have done this full Fibonacci retracement down to the 786, nearly getting back to the lows over here. And then, you know, this is the Fibonacci extension based on where these blue dots are. But I could actually lower this a little bit. So it was around 28 cents. Now I'm going to have to lower it to the low here. It's around 27 cents. So, okay, 27 cents. And for me, I've been contemplating, do I want to start trimming some Doge? Probably not at 27 cents. But maybe that's something I want to, you know, start considering doing. So we'll have to think about it. And yeah, I mean, I guess Doge did come down over the past week. I guess I didn't mention this. It was 16.22 last Friday at close. Now it's 16, so a little bit lower. You know, down 7%, you know, whatever. I think a $1 dip buy, that's probably fine. I shouldn't do that, but just the thought process of if it means I need to work an extra month or an extra week, a couple weeks, whatever, that's not a big deal. So, yeah, and it's, you know, they're at dip levels, so that's fine. Okay, but let's now move on to the next one, which is going to be iExec, ticker symbol RLC. And so this one, I did get a dip buy order filled at my add level of 80 cents. I added $100, and my average looks like it is now at $1.92, so now below $2. So feeling good about that, although I'm down a lot, about 50%, I think. So not feeling so great about that, but I am trying to get my average down, and it is working so far. And so now let's just look over at the market cap, which is the lowest on the list here. iExec is ranked number 428 as far as coin market cap goes. And that's just $66 million. Kind of a sad number there. So I'm just going to paste that over here. It's going to be 66. Sad. It did go up over the course of the past week. Was at 61. And so the current price now of RLC, coming down here in US dollar, not the current price, I should say the closing price from Friday, June 27th. The closing price was 89.68 cents. 89.68. Did go up over the past week as well. Yeah, I'm down about 53%. And, my ad level, as I mentioned, was 80 cents. So let's pull that up over here because I am going to want to adjust that. And let's see, 80 cents. What was the low over here? 79 is that green line. We hit a low on June 22nd, so last Sunday, of 77.91 cents. So a little bit below 80 cents, but that was a pretty nice dip by level. So I feel really good about that. Might be putting in a bull flag. And something I should mention about this, part of the reason why I started doing more, weekly $100 buys, rather than just waiting for, until I'm ready for a $200 buy, is because, Coinbase is not actually as bad as I had thought regarding fees, and because I had noticed that volume was coming down as I was thinking that it might be consolidating here to potentially be forming a bottom, a low, and it did go a little bit lower, but now what we're seeing is volume. While it's not as high as it was over here, volume is now, it's much lower now, but we did get this up move in the volume. So, maybe that could be something. And so I guess like the level that I would look at, because it's just broken below all of these lows, I got this green line over here, 79 cents about. My thoughts are that like right around here, kind of the consolidation lows there, that's around 88.5 cents. Maybe what I want to do is do just a little micro Fibonacci extension from the lows over here, just being approximate up to the highs. And so from that, the 382, the blue line there, is around 87.44 cents. So maybe 88 cents is a good dip by level. But maybe, yeah, well, and we got pretty close to that. What was the low over here? So on Friday, the 27th, the low was 87.89 cents, and I'm thinking 88 cents. So that's effectively hit. So I should really just think that, 90 cents. 90 cents is where I would be a buyer for this week. But even if that doesn't happen, I think that that's, a level that I should, I think I should just add 100 to get my average down. And speaking of which, sorry, keep going back and forth. My average is now 192 from 206, I believe. So now I can adjust this to 192. I don't have an order place, so I'm just going to do that. And 192. Could trim there. And so let's just now, though, look at the chart. This 192 would be right around here. I don't know that that would be that significant. Because I'm just trying to think from here to here. Yeah, maybe from the low here to the high here and then down. Maybe we could see, a fib level might be coming to. So from there to here about, just being approximate. And then I believe it came down to right around that green line. Hey, well, actually, this is looking better than I expected. Let's just zoom in here though, so I can make sure those levels are, you know, approximately correct, but still, you know, right around there, right around there. And I guess I gotta click on this and then zoom in to adjust. Where's that? Where's this circle? Oh, it's over here. Yep, so I mean the green line, I think that's fine. And so that'd be saying that this could be getting up to around 229, 230, 225, let's say. So maybe I don't want to just do at my break even. Maybe I want to trim, even though this is risky. I mean, that'd be trimming pretty short of what could be the highs. But maybe I want to trim a little higher up. And so 229, 230, I'm going to want to pull up the calculator for this. So if my average is 192, so let's say my trim level is, I know I could just do it in Excel, but, you know, so 92 cents times, you know, this will be like a 20% gain. That's 110. Let's see, I could just do the mental math on this. I'm just sure, like, what percentage, you know, from here to, or from my average to about 230. So that's like, what was the math that I did over here? So it's like, you know, 192 times whatever that percentage is. So I want to do the end result, 230 divided by my average, which was 192. It's like 120? What the hell? 230. Am I reading that right? Am I thinking about that right? 230. I thought I just did 192 times 1.2. Yeah, okay. I'm an idiot. I don't know what just happened. I wasn't paying attention. So it's like a 20% gain basically to get to 230. So maybe that's where I'd want to make my trim, 230. Now, you know, it's starting to seem a little more reasonable that I would, you know, trim at profit rather than trim at break even. So I will make this be at 230. And then I can continue to lower that every week. I get my average down. So yeah, feeling good about that. And that would be trimming the majority of this position. So then it would move down on the ranking list. But yeah, so that's really, you know, iExec. And I do want to make this yellow because I haven't placed the order. I will place an order. And that is again with Coinbase for RLC. And then now the next one on the list is going to be Ethereum Classic, ticker symbol ETC. So this one I got a dip buy fill at $15. So maybe that's what I was thinking about with Doge, 15 cents, which was actually 16 cents for ETC. My dip buy level was at 15. So I did buy one of those, dip buy there, and I've been doing the $2 daily DCA, but I've been thinking, you know, maybe I want to just do $1. Well, I am negative, I believe. And, you know, kind of the same philosophy with Doge, I guess, that, you know, while it is negative, it's pretty high up on the list, but I could at least be, you know, getting it down a little bit. And so let's check out the market cap for Ethereum Classic. Excuse me. Ethereum Classic is right here, number 37. 2.4 billion, right around there. Copy that. Paste that over here. Oop, dang it, I copied. I meant to paste. So there we go. It did go up over the course of the past week, and now let's just pull up ETC over here, Ethereum Classic US dollar on Coinbase. And so the closing price from yesterday, it looks like all of these, bounce, consolidation, maybe that's a bull flag. But for June 27th, the closing price was $16.19. So $16.19. Did go up over the course of the past week. I'm down 25%. So yeah, I think this, I'm not going to do an aggressive dip buy or anything. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. But I think I might just do, a dollar daily DCA. That seems fine to me. Just to be continuing to try to get that average down. And yeah, so dip buy level though, if I were to place a dip buy, and over here for Doge, that is one where I don't plan on doing a dip buy, but these other ones I'm thinking I do. Maybe I want to make these orange to kind of reflect that. Do need to place those. Sorry if it's a little hard to see the orange and the yellow, but I'll adjust it by next week. And then so Ethereum Classic, whatever this ends up being, I'm probably going to want to make that red, like I'm not going to be placing it. But wow, look at this though. This is really cool. So the 786 here from the low that was hit on April 7th up to the highs over here. It's lined up with that yellow line there. The 786 was at 1446. What was the low on Sunday, June 22nd? The low was 1449. Almost exactly to that level. So that's very cool. If it does pull back, I could see it come down to like, I don't know. Let's just do 15 again. I think that's probably fine. But I don't know that I would want to dip buy it at 15. Just do the daily dollar DCA. And so I am going to make it no fill. And the alert, I guess I have that placed. I don't have, well, for orders, I need to do my weekly and stuff or whatever. And then this, I'm going to make this red because I don't plan on buying it. Okay, now the trim level, 23, let's see if that's still it. Probably not, 23.89. It looks like it was the 100% extension. We did go lower. You can see that blue dot there. We did go lower, so I need to pull this down some. And so that trim level will be around 22.75 or maybe around 22. What's my average on Ethereum Classic? So, yeah, unfortunately, I think my trim level is just above my average right now. So I think I need to adjust this to 22. And, just make sure I do place that. And so actually, and because of that, because I'm adjusting that trim level, you don't have an alert up there. My alert's at 23, so there's that. And, yeah, I guess we will now be moving on to the next one, which is going to be Ondo, ticker symbol OND. This one, I did place a dip buy. I did buy at around 68 cents or somewhere around there. That level did get hit. And let's see. I had previously been buying Ondo with the exchange Uphold. But then I did just kind of like a window shopping type of comparison. $100 on Uphold, basically placing the order but not submitting it. And I'm not exactly sure which one has more fees or more of a spread, but the end result from that window shopping comparison was that I end up getting $400. I end up getting a little bit more using Coinbase than I do with Uphold. So I am now going to be using Coinbase to buy my Ondo. And my average is now around 88 cents. But we'll have to see, what that compares to the current price of Ondo. But let's first look at the market cap data from Ondo, ranked at number 38. $2.3 billion market cap. And I'll place that there, tab over. And now let's look at the price of Ondo. Let's see, this one here, US dollar on Coinbase. And the price from yesterday, pulled back a little bit more than I would expect. But it dipped down to close on Friday, June 27th at a price of 74,687. So 74,687. So it did go up. I'm down 15%. What's the level that I would want to add at? Because I will want to do another $100 order just to be building up that position while I'm negative with it. I'm very intrigued by Ondo. I think this could be a very great performer. So I do want to be building up a position at least while I'm in the red. I mean, taking advantage of while I'm in the red effectively. And so let's see. So my dip buy level last week was 68 cents. What do we hit for the low on Sunday, June 22nd? The low was 62,149. So lower than, my ad level. I don't know exactly what I bought at, but I did add. And now it's bounced. And where could I see this pulling back to? Maybe like the close here. That'd be around 70 cents. This looks like 69,420. Honestly, that's the cursor. You can see that. I believe you can. Let's see. Oh, wait. Dang it. I didn't want to. I meant to open it, and instead I saved it to my clipboard. But what we can see, if I just paste it here, hey, look at that. I happen to just be hovering 69,420. So I think that's a good omen. I think everything's a good omen. But 69,420, maybe we wick down to there, but then like 70 cents, currently around 75. And also I don't need to buy more Ondo. I also don't need to buy more RLC. So what was, so 70 cents is what I'm thinking. It's a little bit higher than it was last week. Dang it. But yep, do that. And then what's the trim level though? Need to consider that. Don't have an order placed. I can't place alerts on these. Or maybe I can in Coinbase, I guess, but I'm just not going to. I place my alerts in Webull because I pay attention to that for stocks. But yeah, what's the trim level to the upside? Here it looks like 113. I have 110. But let's see, let's drag this down just to that low that we hit. And it looks like it's around 110. Or here it looks like 109. Is that 100% extension? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. 110, do I really want to change that? I think I'll just make it 109 too. No, yeah, 109, sure. I guess it doesn't matter. So 109. Need to change that as well. Okay, just down a little bit more. So, yep, nothing too exciting. We'll be telling if we break that downtrend there, if we start to close above it. And yeah, so I'm coming back to this spreadsheet to look over here so we can look at the next ticker, which is going to be Litecoin, ticker symbol LTC. And so this one I did also, like all of them basically, did get a dip by around 80 cents. Or sorry, $80, 80 cents, $80. And my average is now just under $100. And I just had a limit dip buy, it looks like filled at 80 cents last week. Since this one is higher up on the list, and yeah, I would like these to be higher up than, like I'd like them to be just below Ondo, if not above. So I want to add to these more than I want to keep this up. So I'm not going to do any dip buys for Litecoin this week. So let's do that so it's clear. But, you know, we can definitely still look at, you know, a dip potential level for Litecoin. But let's first look over at the market cap. Litecoin is ranked number 20 at $6.5 billion. Copy that over, paste it here. And let's check out the price now for Litecoin. Oh, crap. I raised my chair a little bit so my arms are a little more comfortable, but then they just bumped into the table, into the desk. Yeah, so Litecoin, let's pull that up. Because, you know, I want to try to have better posture. I have bad posture. Litecoin US. Maybe I'll just sit back like this. Yeah. US dollar, Coinbase, there we go. And yeah, what was the closing price from yesterday? So on the 27th, Saturday, closed at 84.88. 84.88. And it did go up over the past week, down 14% on that position. And now let's think about dip buy levels. So for Litecoin, it was $80. And that was the 618 here from this Fibonacci retracement. And so the next one down, since we did pierce that, that will be around 73. Because we got the 786 at 72.64. So 73, even though it's trading around 86, if it does go lower, 73. But I don't plan on buying that. Yeah, this is just going to be no alerts and no orders, so I can just do it like that. Oops. By that, I meant like that. And not going to be dip buying that. Also, Ethereum Classic, and I will be doing that. So these, yep, above. I do plan on buying those, so I need to place some orders. But yeah, let's think about where this could be going to the upside. So I have 120 marked. And so that's going to be right around here. 123.61 is that 100% Fibonacci extension, which pulls down to the yellow line here where the cursor is, that 618. But we broke below that, so I'm just going to lower this a little bit more. So that cursor dash line lines up with the bottom over here. And so that's around 120. 119.84. And let's see, 119. It's unfortunate I have to adjust, but you know, maybe it doesn't get to 120 and everybody's waiting for that. So I do think that's fine, you know. Litecoin. Oh, and actually, no, I do need to make this yellow because I'll place a sell at 119. So good to keep that in mind. And yep, downtrend here, resistance. Once we start closing above, you know, here, 93, 94, somewhere around there, then maybe this is going to the upside. But yeah, coming back over here to look at the next one on the list, which is going to be Solana, ticker symbol SOL. I did have a dip buy order placed and filled at 135. And, you know, as you can see, that was filled. And, you know, so feel good about that. My average is now 148.78. And I must say though, because, I kind of want to have these three all kind of equally positioned, I might just leave Solana alone. So this one might get an NA until I get XRP or Cardano above Solana, and then I'd start to add more to it. But yeah, let's look at the market cap for Solana. I believe it's going to be number 6 on CoinMarketCap. Yep. And that's around $80 billion. Copy that over to paste it right here. And then the price for Solana. This, scroll down here to look at Coinbase, US dollar Solana. So the closing price from yesterday looks like it's got a nice move today on Saturday. But the closing price for Friday, June 27th, was 142.17. So 142.17. And it did go up over the past week. It looks like I'm down only 4% in my position. So yeah, another reason to not really be buying too aggressively or anything like that. Just chill with it, And actually, maybe that's something that I want to think about with Doge. Maybe I won't do a $1 dip buy if the current price is above my average, which I don't think it is. But yeah, for Solana, the dip buy level that I had was at 135. We're above that now. So what would the new dip buy level be for Solana? So we dipped down. I had this 130. I should have just left it at 130. Although the low was 126.03, so 130 would have gotten filled. So this is an example. I should have been more patient. And this coming down to maybe 115 would be the level, because that Fibonacci extension, or retracement, I should say, sorry, is still just based on that high up there. I'm just extending it to the right a little bit. And yeah, so 15 exactly. So, but maybe it doesn't go down to 115, so maybe excuse me, because this is kind of the way I think about this. I had it up here because, well, maybe it doesn't go down to that yellow line. And then it does, it goes lower, and then it's like, okay, well, now I'm just going to place it right at 115 at this red line. If it does pierce, it's great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But now, maybe it doesn't actually go down that low, so maybe 120. Nice round number. And that is one that I would not be dip buying, though. And I'm probably going to need to adjust all of this stuff, but let's just see what's the trim level. I have it at like 220. It's up here. Can drag this down a little bit lower. That would be like 217. This looks like it's at 217.76. So I'd say, 217. And Solana, all of these, at the trim levels, that's when I need to be, placing those orders. Have alerts for the downside and the upside, but then also orders for the trims. So yeah, I will be doing that. And then now let's move on to the next one, which is going to be XRP, ticker symbol XRP. Did get a dip buy last week at, $2.02. I do believe it dipped below $2. And since this one is, not the lowest of these three, I am actually going to place this one as an NA as well. Pump the brakes on that. And yeah, let's populate the market cap data for XRP. So coming over here, let's see, XRP is ranked number 4, $128 billion. Hopefully that copied. Nope. $128 billion, there we go. And now the price for XRP. US dollar on Coinbase, there we go. Closing price yesterday on the 27th, $2.1431. $2.1431. Down 6%. Again, you know, not down like more than 10% or anything, so nothing too crazy. You know, the current price is 218, so pretty close to my average, but still down. And let's just see. Yeah, the dip by level that I had was 202. That was filled. But maybe I could see it. You know, the low. Ooh, I need to extend this Fibonacci retracement into the future a little bit. Let's see. Coming down to around $1.85. It's like the 786 is at 183, 184. It's maybe 185, maybe 190. The low over here was 190.93. So yeah, maybe a dip to 190. That would be a nice one. And that again, is not one that I plan on buying on a dip. But just to keep it in mind, you know, I'll have an alert at least. And then maybe no, I should take advantage, then maybe I will. And the upside, I have it marked at, looks like 311, 100% extension. But since we did go lower, see, $3. I'm not sure exactly why I did $3 rather than 311, but if I do drag that down to the low, it's going to be around 295. It's a 100% extension there. So 295. I need to adjust that. And I will need to adjust the alerts and place a trim order, although not a buy order. And then Cardano. That is the next one we'll look at, which, you know, now let's check out Cardano, ticker symbol ADA. This is one that I did get a dip by. It looks like at 57 cents. And I was also doing $1 daily DCAs. And let's see, 57 cents. So I got that. I think I might do $1 daily DCA with this. Looks like my average is 69 cents. So maybe that's a good omen. But let's check out the market cap and the price to see, you know, what those are at. So Cardano is ranked number 10 over here, just shy of $20 billion for the market cap. Just paste that over here. Did come down a little bit. Wow, over the past week, unless I screwed something up here. Cardano did come down a little bit. And let's check out the price. For Cardano, ticker symbol ADA, US dollar on Coinbase. And so the closing price yesterday, on Friday the 27th, was $55.90. So $55.90 came down. And that's also, I mean, look at that. I'm down 19%. So this is one that, yeah, I mean, of these three, this is the one that I should be adding to because I am negative. And I'm just making sure that that's right. I'm kind of surprised. It's kind of a dud. But yeah, I'll just do $1 here. Place that over there. But if I wanted to, what would be, you know, a dip by level? And this actually, I should note, this is, you know, below my dip by level still from last week. So let's consider that coming over here. So that's 57 cents was the dip by. And we hit a low on Sunday, June 22nd of 51.01. And that seems like maybe that's a double bottom there, 51.01. And I just feel like the consolidation, you know, what was the close over here and the open here, that was around 54 cents. It's not really much lower. Maybe I just, you know, maybe it goes a little bit lower, sweeps the lows, which was, you know, 51 cents, 51 cents. So maybe 52. Maybe that's a good level, but I don't plan on buying that. And then what's a good trim level? got marked here right around 90 cents or 91 cents. That's marked here 90.93 cents. But we did go a little bit lower, so I can adjust that Fibonacci extension to correspond with the recent lows. And that would be going up to around 86 cents. So maybe I want to adjust that there, make that yellow, and then do that. And so, got to place that. But yeah, I mean, I think that this is, fine for daily DCAs for the next week. And now let's check out Chainlink, ticker symbol LINK. Did get a dip buy on this one at $12, as well as did the $1 daily DCAs. This one, like Aave, both DeFi for, the possibility of having tokenization of stocks, all of that stuff. So I think that Chainlink and Aave are both very interesting in that respect. Link is above Aave, so maybe I'd want to add to Aave and not Link, but maybe I'm close to break even with Aave, and so maybe I just continue adding to Link. I'm not sure. So we'll have to consider that. But let's first look over at the market cap on Link. And so coming over here, Chainlink is ranked number 14, about $9 billion market cap. If I place that right here, oops, right there, highlight that X, paste that in there. Did go up over the past week, and then let's check out what the closing price was from yesterday. So Chainlink US dollars on Coinbase. The closing price from yesterday, June 27th, was at 13.056. So 13.056, down 31% on this. So maybe thinking about this as, DeFi. I mean, Uniswap is also DeFi though, and that's very low there. But to me, that's more speculative. I have less conviction in it than I do with these. So yeah, down 31%. So I'm going to have to decide on this once I look at Aave. But what are the dip buy levels? As I had mentioned, I believe multiple times for Link, I did buy at 12. And why is this? I need to adjust this. So I'm just going to go here. Put this. There we go. 12 there. And so what is the, the level I think that this could be pulling back to? So Chainlink, as I mentioned, hit a low of 10 at 93.6, $10.93.6 cents. I don't even know if I mentioned that. But, around 12. This is, higher lows that we're putting in. So I'd say, yeah, I could still just leave that at 12. I think that's fine. It's already pulled back to the 786, the red line. So 12, I think that's good. Don't need to do anything there. Let's see, trim. What's the trim level now? I said 19. It's probably gonna be lower than that because the price of Link did go lower. So that trim level would now be still at around 19. And so I might just leave that alone. It's close enough. I'm fine with it. So 19, I'll leave both of those. And so that would mean that I don't need to adjust my alerts, but I do need to update my order, based on, I've been adding over the past week. So I need to adjust how much I would be trimming. And so, yeah, there's that. And now the next one on the list, this is where it gets more interesting, kind of compare and contrast, is going to be Aave, ticker symbol AAVE. I did get a dip buy on this one at $220. My average is now $271, right around $272. And I was doing daily dollar DCAs last week. But yeah, let's populate the market cap as well as the price data. And so Aave is ranked number 30. That's going to be just shy of $4 billion market cap. I don't know if that copied just shy of 4 billion. Nope. All right, so let's get this. Dang it. Whenever it changes, if I haven't hit copy, it doesn't copy. There we go. Did go up over the past week, and if we look over here, Aave US dollar from Coinbase, the closing price from Friday was $259.42. So $259.42. I am in the red. But, down 5%, 271 to 58. I don't know. This is tough. Well, what I could do, you'll say NA to link, but if I do get a fill for Aave that's above my average, then maybe I'd switch over to link. So I think that seems reasonable, seems justifiable. I'm okay with that. And yeah, let's see. The dip buy levels for Aave was 220. What was the low for last week? I'm just going to cut this, paste this over here. So Aave was 220. What was the low for last week? Hit on Sunday, June 22nd. 213.10, pierced that level at like 219 and then bounced. Maybe it could be going lower at like 194 or 195. So I would say that is, maybe a level to keep in mind. And, so that's corresponding with this, the 618 there. And let's just see what's the level to the upside. That was at 385. Is that what I said? 380. And this goes in the future a little bit. So got the dot over here, but I want that to line up with the low. Ends up to still be around 280, so I can leave that one. Need to adjust the alert and need to place the daily orders. Wait a second. I meant to do it like this. There we go. Okay, so that's fine. And then I will do that. So I gotta place the alerts for the downside. I don't have to adjust them for the upside because I'm not changing that. And then I do need to place an order for daily $1 DCA. And let's see. Okay, yeah, so that seems fine to me. Coming back over here, Stellar, or Stellar Lumens, ticker symbol XLM. I did get a dip buy fill for this one at 23 cents. My average is at 36 cents. I don't plan on buying this one, just to take it easy the next week. And so I'll just do that as an NA. But let's see what the market cap is. So coming over here, XLM, Stellar right there, number 17, 7.4 billion. Oops. Copy that, 7.4 billion. Did go down a little bit over the past week, so that's kind of odd. XLM was 7.466. Now it's 7.427, so it came down a little bit, but not by a lot. And let's check out the price for XLM. in US dollar on Coinbase right here. And so the closing price for Friday was 236,996. So 236,996 did go down a little bit, down 35%. And yeah, I'm just thinking this, to be honest, because I don't need to add. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave that. Because I'm thinking, well, you know, if I'm down 35% on this one, why would I be adding to Aave when I'm down 35% on this one, you know? So maybe of what's most negative down here, that's what I should add to dollar daily DCA. But yeah, I mean, for now, I think that I want to leave this one as an NA. And, you know, so the dip by level was 23 cents. XLM is next. Yep, so 23 cents. Let's look at the chart, see what that low was. 21.6784 cents. Still higher low. Based on the closes, the opens and closes. And so, I mean, I would still think, yeah, around 23 cents. Well, that's right, maybe 22 cents. 22 cents. So, or I could just leave it. Could just leave it at 23, yeah. I'll just leave it. Oh, and I don't plan on buying that. I don't plan on buying that. And XLM, I don't plan on buying that, but I can do that. And then so the trim level, 38 cents. Or did I say 28 cents? Did I mean 38? Yes. No, that's going to be adjusted now down to around 35 cents. So right there. And that is going to be yellow. And I need to place, let's see, orders, yes, for the trim. You have to have an order for that. And, yeah, let's come back over here. The next one is going to be Avalanche, ticker symbol AVAX. And, you know, let's see up here. I did get a dip by fill at $16.69. And I don't plan on buying. So I'm going to keep that in mind. But let's check out the market cap for it. So for Avalanche, rank number 16, $7.5 billion. All right, copy and paste that. And let's check out the closing price from yesterday. Avalanche, US dollar on Coinbase. And so the closing price from Friday, June 27th was at $17.59. So $17.59, down 21%. And I'm just thinking, let's look over at the weeklies. My dip buy level for Avalanche was $16.69. That is now below us. It was really just kind of, I mean, $16.25. What was the low? The low is 15 at 62, so maybe like 16. 16 could be the dip buy level. And the trim level, let's adjust that. Had it at 28. And I just need to pull that down a little bit lower. Match the low there. So that's around 20, just shy of 28. So maybe I'll just leave it at 28. I don't know. I'll just leave it at 28. And if I am leaving it at 28, I believe I already have that order placed. So I don't think I need to worry about placing another one. Yeah, so I mean, that's effectively already placed. Add alert. I might need to adjust the alert because I did change that. I did lower it a little bit. So there we go. Kind of mix and match with these, you know. And yeah, so let's go on to the next one. That is going to be the official Trump coin. I did have a dip buy level at $9. That was filled. My current average is now below 13. Feeling good about that. Don't necessarily plan on buying this week, so I'm going to adjust that. And though, maybe I want to, or no, not maybe I want to, I need to populate that market cap data. And so, let's see, official Trump is ranked number 44, $1.8 billion. And so that's over here. Paste that into there. And then what's the current price of the Trump coin? So Trump US dollar on Coinbase. Or not the current price, the closing price from Friday, June 27th, which was 901. Okay, down 29%. So not down as much as XLM. But I am down a good amount. But yeah, I mean, so $9 dip buy level. Let's come over here to look at that. We did hit a low on Sunday, June 22nd of 831. So yeah, I mean, I think that 9 is fine for over here. And the trim level, 17. Am I going to be adjusting that? Does have to go a little bit lower. But still, I think still 17. That's fine. So I don't need to do that one either. So since I'm not buying, I do have my alerts and my orders all set there. So that's good. All right. And then so now coming over here, let's look at Pepe. Ticker symbol Pepe, P-E-P-E. I did have a dip buy at 5 zeros and a 9. My current average is 4 zeros and a 16. And I was doing a $7 daily DCA, but I'm probably just going to be doing an NA for that. And let's see, for Pepe, I need to populate the data over here. I'm tired, that's what it is. So the market cap for Pepe, scrolling up to number 29, just shy of $4 billion market cap. I'll paste that over here. Came down over the past week. And the current price for Pepe is US dollar on Coinbase here. Or not the current price, the closing price on Friday, June 27th, was 50917. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 917. Down 43%, so pretty massively with that. It's speculative and stupid. Yeah, stupid me is what it is. But yeah, 9 whatever, 4 zeros and 9 whatever. Let's see, what was the low? It was, didn't quite get to 5 zeros and an 8. It was at 5 zeros 8.3 was the low on June 22nd. So I think leaving it as 5 zeros and a 9, I think that's fine. Oh, and I should note, I don't plan on buying these. And then the trim level, 4 zeros and a 1.9. I have to adjust that down a little bit. but still, yeah, it's the same. So that's good. That's good. So now let's move on to the next one, which is going to be Uniswap, ticker symbol UNI. Did have a dip buy filled at $6.50. My current average is at $10.54. And since that dip buy was filled, I'm just going to do NA for this. And yeah, let's populate this market cap data for Uniswap. Rank number 27, $4.4 billion. Just going to copy that. Paste it over. Ooh, dang it. I didn't copy it apparently. Paste it over there. Okay. Went up over the past week. And let's check out the data over here. So Uniswap is going to be US dollars on Coinbase. And the closing price for Friday, June 27th was 6.912. 6.912. Oh, that actually came down a little bit. What was it last week? 6.912. You know, it was 7, so it did come down a little bit. And it's being set down 34%, so not as bad as Pepe. So, yep, I think that I need to just check out, $6.50 over here. Do I want to adjust that? What was the low over the past week? $6.26. So I think $6.50 was good. It's been putting in, like, not necessarily from here. It's been putting in higher lows, so that's good. But yeah, $6.50. The low was $5.92.2. So $6.50, which corresponds with, it's like $6.13. $6.50. I think that's fine. I will leave that alone. And then $10.90 will be to the upside, which I'm not sure how I had $10.90. Oh, that's probably because of what my average is. What's my average? No, it's lower than $10.90. Or at least it's lower than $10.90 now. But then if I adjust this down, be like 10.06, 10.07. But I wouldn't want to trim there. I'd want to at least trim at my break even, which is going to be $10.54. Let's say $10.55. $10.55. So I'm going to want to do that as yellow, and this one, don't plan on dip buying that. And because I need to place the alerts and adjust the orders, I believe I'm going to have to do that. So there's that. And then the next one on the list, one of the last ones, is going to be Loopring, ticker symbol LRC. My average is still around 19 cents. I didn't have a dip by order placed because I have to do this via uphold, which, I'm not going to do it unless I do $100, and I'm just not feeling it. I think that this one could be one that goes to zero, so I want to play it a little bit less risky. But yeah, the dip by level was 7 cents. Let's take a look briefly, or in a minute, I should say, what the closing price was from Friday. But let's first look over at the coin market cap for Loopring, ranked 311. And that's copying this, about $105 million market cap. Did go up over the past week, and the closing price from Friday for LRC, US dollar on Coinbase, was 7.6 cents. So 7.6 cents. Oops. Don't want to be giving away what my numbers are. Yeah, let's see. 7 cents. What was the low? 6.58 cents. So, I mean, I feel like that's still, you know, a valid level there. 19 cents, potential to the upside. Really, I mean, to drag it down to this new low that was formed, that would be around 12 cents. But, you know, I'm not going to adjust where I would be selling at. So, or, you know, because I don't want to be selling at a loss. And then now, finally, probably what you all have been waiting for, I'm just going to go over Fartcoin really just for fun. I kind of regret not buying it last week because it did hit my level of 80 cents. But I was just buying so many other things. I didn't want to spread myself too thin. But yeah, let's look at the market cap for Fartcoin, which is ranked number 63. And this is a $1 billion market cap. Pretty crazy how something so stupid has $1 billion behind it. But it's, you know, once it becomes Sharkcoin, then it's starting to become a shitcoin. Right now, it's only a Fartcoin. I find that funny. So that's kind of why I like it. But yeah, the current price, I think, is around $1. But yeah, Fartcoin, US dollars on Kraken. I think that's what I looked at last week. Because Coinbase, I don't think, had much data on it. Yeah. So the closing price from yesterday, on Friday, June 27th, was $1.07. So 1.007. All right. And yeah, so I mean, buying at 80 cents, that would have been great, and I didn't do it. So I'm kind of bummed about that, but, you know, whatever. What was the low for last week? It was 79.31 cents. So I was spot on with that. I'm very proud. I think I would have gotten to fill at like 84 cents. So it's like, oh, wait. I should have just gone with it, but that's fine. And now let's kind of see, where could this be going to the upside? Just take a step back so we can see this bigger picture. And I can actually erase this a little bit. That would be around 190. Fartcoin, 185 is what I had. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. Oh, no, actually, because, yeah, I'll leave it at 185. I think that's fine. I don't need to get too fussy, so I'll leave those as is. These two, I don't plan on dip buying them, so I'll do that. And, you know, now I'm just going to think about the trades that I want to do over the week. So these are 2 daily dip buys. This is one that I do through Robinhood. So that's one. I want to have a maximum of 7 of these. Then I have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see what Doge's current price is, though, right now, because maybe that will influence this decision. Doge US dollar, Coinbase. Current price is 16 something, so I think it's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm just thinking, you know, maybe then I just want to do Pepe. And then maybe Pepe moves up, and then that inspires me to go with some others. But yeah, I mean, XLM 35% down. Or maybe, you know, I should just do. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so maybe I should just do the ones that I'm most negative on, which is going to be XLM and Pepe. Why not? So XLM and then Pepe. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 daily DCAs for Robinhood, 1 daily DCA via Strike, and then I'll buy these 2. And so I think that seems kind of reasonable. Although I shouldn't be spending all this money on crypto, but I'm not too worried about it. I have enough in the bank, so I'm okay. Being responsible. And then now just thinking about, how these have changed. Really just looks like, let's see, Uniswap has gone up a lot, but now still negative, but not as negative as some of these other ones, like Pepe in green here, like RLC, that's going up. And then this one here is LRC, and that's just going to probably remain the dud for a while. The only ones that I'm green on currently is Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's fine. I suspect that eventually all of these will be at least at 0 or above, so that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for today's video, less than 2 hours long. But as always, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Crypto Corner Sat Stackers every Saturday, and then random videos, throughout the week. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Hopefully you're having a great weekend, either being productive, having fun outside, enjoying the weather, or staying inside and relaxing. Hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, you guys.